Hey everyone, Jill Hope here, and I'm bringing you your monthly video reflection. So this past weekend, we filmed the promo video for our upcoming Empowering Kids Now Global Summit. And I had about 10 kids there, ranging in age from 6.5 to 14, boys, girls, from all different types of backgrounds. And everybody had an amazing time. The kids were loving it. All of the adults had such a great time. It was like playing on a playground. We all had so much fun. Not a moment of it felt like work. And I was getting this feedback from the parents of the kids who participated afterward. And they were telling me things like, one parent said, "My son had an amazing time." Now this was coming from a 13-year-old boy, spending a couple hours with us on a Saturday. He had an amazing time. Several of the other students had mentioned that they want to do it again. Now they want to find other gigs where they can, do filming because they had such a great time. We just kept getting this feedback. One of the moms said that her kids couldn't stop talking about it afterwards. And they were so animated and so excited and had such a wonderful experience. And so I started to reflect on why that might be. And as I thought about this, it dawned on me that there were a few things that dawned on me. First of all, they were listened to very intently. We were filming them. We were having them say certain things. We were asking them certain questions. And all of our attention and focus was on each of these kids as they were speaking. We weren't, thinking of other things. We weren't on our phones. We were 100% focusing on them. So that was number one. Number two, we were asking them for their opinion. And if you think about it, how often do kids get asked how they feel about something, what they think about something? Usually, we're telling them, the adults in their lives are telling them things. Do this, do that, do that. And we're not giving them the space to consider how they feel and to actually be truly interested in what they think. So we had that happening as well. They were validated in their feelings. When they were sharing feelings with us, we were listening from a place of empathy and a place of understanding and a place of validation. We weren't judging what they were saying. We weren't questioning it. We were simply just listening and validating. And of course, they had a lot of attention on them. I mean, it was all about them and it was all about what they said. And who doesn't like to have some attention on themselves once in a while, right? So I think that all of these things sort of work together to really have the kids coming out of the experience feeling really good and loving that experience and wanting to recreate that experience again. And I started thinking, well, how can we use what I learned that day in our parenting? Because how amazing would it be to have our kids feel that way every day in their interactions with us, their parents? And so I want to ask you a few questions, and this is where your reflection comes into play. So make sure that you've got something to write on, because I'd like to ask you to do some journaling on these questions I'm going to ask. If now is not a good time for you, come back to this video when you have a few minutes. Maybe devote 15 minutes to considering these questions and writing what you think about them, writing what comes up for you around these ideas. Okay, so here are the questions that you can ask yourself. First question is, how often do you make space for your child to air their thoughts and feelings? How often do you give them that time and that space to be able to think about how they feel, to share what they think? Write whatever comes up for you around that question. And if you've got some yeah buts, some reasons why this happened, some excuses or explanations, write them down. What is getting in the way? The second question is, how often do you give your child your undivided attention? And when I say undivided attention, I mean while you're not holding your cell phone, while you're not multitasking during dinner, while you're not driving. I literally mean your undivided attention, where all of your focus and all of your presence is with your child. How often does that happen for you? And if you have anything less than, if you're not able to give your presence to your child once a day, once a week, what is getting in the way? What feels like it's stopping you or preventing you from being able to give your child undivided attention, at least in small snippets of time? What gets in your way? The next question is, do you put your own judgment on what your kids share with you? Or do you simply just listen and hear them? This is a biggie. I think we don't often realize how much of our own judgment we put on our kids. So ask yourself that question. The next question is, do you talk more than you listen? Are you giving directions more than you're asking what they think, how they feel? I know there's a lot of things we need our kids to do, and we're very busy, and we're sort of on that hamster wheel. But look at that for yourself. How much of your time talking to your child is actually talking to them rather than listening to them? And my last two questions are you willing to continue to allow things to get in the way of truly listening to your kids? Because frankly, anything outside of you that you give power to, that you say is causing or is the reason why you're not fully present with your kids, you're giving your power to that thing. You have control. You alone can decide, hey, when my child is here with me in these moments before my child goes to sleep, I am going to speak with her. I am going to ask her how she feels about things. And I'm going to just listen to whatever she says. I'm not going to try to teach. I'm not going to turn it into a teaching moment. I am just simply going to listen for 10 minutes before bedtime or whenever it works for you. Maybe it's at the dinner table, or you're sitting down, you're having a moment, and you're listening. So are you going to commit to making a shift in how you are interacting with your kids? And only you can decide this. And until you decide, yes, I want to do that, yes, I will do that, only then will the opportunities to do that show up. So consider these questions, run through it again, hit the pause in between the questions so that you have a chance to reflect and a chance to write. And then consider the last two questions. I'm not sure I said the second one. It's, are you willing to allow these things to get in the way? And if not, what changes will you make right away? What can you change in your life starting right now to be able to be more present, to listen more, to tell less, and to hear your kids without putting judgment on it? Let me know what comes up for you. I would love to hear what you discovered for yourself and what changes you are committing to make when it comes to interacting with your kids. Thanks for listening. I'm Jill Hope. Until next time, have a wonderful month. Bye-bye.